Today we have the next decoupage lesson. We suggest you to master the shabby chic technique and to decorate the big casket by the roses, which have been cut out from a paper napkin. Also, we will work with volume. We will decorate a casket made in the form of the big apple with autumn leaves. We hope that skills obtained in our program will be useful to you, and you will create by your own hands many specific and unique products, which by all means give friends and relatives. Hello, my name is Natasha Fokhtina, and I'm glad as always to welcome you in our studio. Today, I suggest you to work with caskets of different forms and sizes and to decorate them. For example, here the big casket with roses is made in the shabby chic technique. And this is simply decoratively made old by crackle varnish. And what is the difference between these two works, I will explain you. After all, at first sight, it's possible to tell that both of them are made in the decoupage technique. Well, I begin with the main thing. The name shabby chic has appeared from an English word shabby that translates as worn or threadbare. This style has come to us from Great Britain, and it has arisen there in the 80s of the last century, and this style was considered rural, in other words for England as Victorian. At the heart of this decoration direction lay the ways of artificial aging of things, or better to say, antique imitation. Besides that the thing made in the shabby chic style should be aged, there are also some requirements to its color and picture. Common use gentle light shades, though white color is in the lead. And as we have the Victorian style, it's better to give preference to roses or angels, though there can be any other gently flowers and plants. Shabby chic isn't only thin places on a light background. It includes all the methods of artificial aging of surface, for example, such as crackle and greening. Only in combination of these technologies we can get fine bagatelles with a touch of antiquity. I think that now, looking at these two caskets, you with ease can define which of them is made in the decoupage technique and which is decorated in shabby chic style. And now we can safely pass to technological process, as I think that the main principles and nuances you have already mastered. So, to decorate here such big casket in the shabby chic technique, at first, it's necessary to emery it well, using an emery paper and to ground. I noticed that if you don't have special acrylic ground, you can use white acrylic paint. And if it's a pity to expand paint for a first coat, paint all surface of the product with dense white glue. And I noticed that we don't remove locks and other fastenings from this preparation, as usual, as we should make it old entirely. Also, we need to prepare for work white and dark acrylic paint, white glue or special glue for a decoupage, scissors, a paper 3-layer napkin with the picture you liked, brushes, a piece of foam rubber and a bitumen patina. The patina will give us a feeling of aged surface on the product. And that our product looked very old, we take one step crackle varnish, laundry candle and a soap piece. I think that I have already enough intrigued you, and you suffer guesses what I will do with soap. I, with your permission, will torment you a little more and tell all step by step, or I confuse something in technological process. So, we take our grounded casket and apply on it one layer of dark acrylic paint. I very much like color of paint known as English red. I took it for my preparation. By the way, you can paint the surface in any way, or by brush, or by foam rubber piece, or by the roller. As soon as the dark paint layer will dry up finally, we pass to the most interesting process. We begin the first stage of surface aging. We take a piece of laundry candle and rub with it those places of the casket on which further you assume to make thin places. I recommend necessarily to work up the sides and preparation corners. In these places things are rubbed away from time and in life. Now we take a laundry soap piece, water it a little, and using a brush we'll transfer a foam liquid on those places which we have rubbed with a candle. And we dry the surface to continue the work. And also we need crackly varnish, that the paint will crack a little on all area of the product. We take one step crackly and apply it where there is no paraffin. We dry this layer and begin to prepare primary color for casket coloring. I didn't begin to think nothing special here, but simply added in white acrylic paint a little English red, and with this coloristic structure have painted all product. At this stage, the main thing is patience. It's necessary to wait full drying, otherwise preparation can be spoiled. I noticed that in the course of drying we will have cracks in those places where applied crackly varnish. Now it's possible to choose a picture with which you want to decorate your bagatelle. As Shabby Chic assumes a decor in the Victorian style, as I already spoke to you, I take a picture with the roses, put on a 3-layer paper napkin in the typographical way, and I pull them out. We put roses for a while aside, as we have one more operation. We need to take a piece of emery paper and to work with it the casket surface, but only in those places where we have paraffin and a soap solution. As a result, from under a light paint will appear the dark. In other words, will appear thin places necessary for us. As far as your casket will be aged and peeled, depends on your taste and sense of proportion. But I advise to control yourselves that instead of the admired exclamation of viewers, you won't hear a question: on what dump you have found this wonderful box? Now all is simple. We take our roses, separate the top napkin layer with picture from too unnecessary, and put it to the cover of our casket. We glue the picture, spreading it from the top by a flat synthetic brush with special glue for a decoupage or white glue. We dry glue well and take a pot of a bitumen patina. As we have decided to make all the product alone all right, we won't stop halfway. We apply a patina on the surface of the casket by a piece of foam rubber and try that on the edges and corners the patina will be more dense and the central parts simply tone a little. We should have such wonderful antique casket. We need to coat it with the finishing varnish, to dry up, to fill with various beautiful features and to put on a foreground. This bagatelle isn't only a fine receptacle of various small things and decorations, but also a wonderful decoration of an interior. By the way, if shabby chic isn't at all that style with which you would like to decorate the favorite casket, and you at all don't like caskets, you still need to put something somewhere. I advise to take any box which will approach you on the size and to decorate it as you want. For example, in a modern interior, such box of cookies can quite get on with other things. It makes very simply. We ground with white acrylic the product surface, glue the leaves cut out from a napkin, and around them using the brush, pick in dark blue background. In spite of the fact that this is not shabby chic, the work looks neatly. Now is time, and we can switch over to another work. For example, you have a preparation for a small casket, but you need the gift for the man. I hope that he is a fisherman, as I have decided to make of this casket the object for storage of hooks and minnows. This bagatelle is decorated not so difficult. We need to ground the surface at first with white acrylic, or as I, to make it with white glue, and then to put it in brown color and also with acrylic paint. I suggest to leave the casket bottom brown and to decorate only the cover. If you want, can, as I, to apply on its surface one-step crackly varnish, and can not to do it. After all, many men can't understand what for it's necessary to make old a new thing. With the varnish or without, we should paint the cover with white acrylic paint and dry up. And as we make a gift for the fisherman, I suggest to glue here such fish cut out from a 3-layer paper napkin. By the way, you can pull it out and even cure a little, or rather to burn its edges. It will look wonderfully in any variant. And it's better to tone down a little white color. You can do it with an oil pastel chalks. We simply smear them by fingers on the product surface. Also, I would advise to work a few with wood burning pan and to decorate with typographic ornament the cover edges of our casket. In such a variant it looks amazingly. But we need to designate its accessory to show to the man why this box is necessary to him and why he should be glad having received it as a gift. We cut out from foam, rubber or any porous material to enlace, and to them we fix hooks and minnows. I think now we have coped with the task, and we have the real brutal and useful gift. By the way, if you are going to present your dear fisherman royally, spend a little more time and make and pair to the casket such wonderful cutting board with a knife. The most important thing is that the second product should be technologically absolutely the same as the first. After all, this is a complete set. But you can change the picture. For example, I have on my board the other fish. And believe me, this gift will also appreciate. And maybe even will treat with something tasty. After all, men need to be reminded that they are good cooks. Now, I suggest you to work with such casket in the form of an apple. If there is no apple, you can take a pear. Of course, I joke. Simply, the method which I offer you approaches for any volume forms. To work with volume things is much more difficult than with flat. But I will try to show the most simple variant how to decorate them without any problems. We prepare brown, green and white acrylic paint. 1 step crackly varnish, a 3-layer paper napkin with small pictures, and the less thing which you are going to decorate, the smaller should be the pictures. And once more, for toning of a surface, we can use an oil pastel. We'll prepare and eat. So, at first we ground the casket surface, and then outside we paint it with brown acrylic paint. We dry this layer and apply on it 1 step crackly varnish. You can't use it, but it seems to me that cracks will give to this bagatelle a certain transparency of the background. After all, I have decided to decorate it with autumn leaves. We dry a varnish with a hair dryer and accurately, dab to dab, paint over a brown background with white acrylic. Again, we take the hair dryer, warm surface, and get the imitation of the edge surface. We have cracks, and at the same time the paint dries up. Now we glue leaves, which we need to be cut out from a 3-layer paper napkin preliminary. We work with special glue for a decoupage or with white glue. We put to the decorated surface the top napkin layer with picture and smear it from the top with white glue by a flat synthetic brush. We dry the surface, and we only need to work with the white background of the product. We take an oil multicolored pastel and by a finger we make blinks on the casket surface. After that, we will have such real autumn capacity for storage of beautiful bagatelles. By the way, I have absolutely forgotten to tell you that it's possible to judge the quality of the handmade product by its underside or inside. I recommend paint necessarily the casket from within. I have made it with green acrylic paint and have coated with polyurethane varnish. And after the varnish will dry up, it's necessary to apply it on the outside, to dry it up, and then to begin to use this wonderful apple properly for ornament storage. That's all that I wanted to tell and show to you today. It seems to me that we have spent time with advantage and have learned a lot of new about shabby chic, one of directions in decoration art, and have applied this technology in the decoupage. We have such wonderful casket at which in full, present and shabby chic, as I think it will be fantastic to look in the interior. And this casket apple I hope you liked in spite of the fact that it's made quite traditionally for the decoupage. Not all like pseudo-antique things. Probably you prefer something new and unusually, and this is your right. The main thing is to take pleasure from that you are engaged, and in what style and direction you will make it, it's not important. On it, I say goodbye to you to new ideas. With you, there was Natasha Fochtina. Good luck and goodbye.